So I decided to call a bridal salon that's nearby, hoping that they were hiring because I'm thinking about quitting my current job and I thought bridal consultant, that would be fun, right? So no, they're not hiring, but when I mentioned that I do dressmaking and she's like, oh, so, like custom dresses. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to help out with that. She goes, well, could I buy some dresses from you? Okay. So now I need to send her some designs and some pictures of things I made and also make a sample. I have no idea how this happened, but I'm making a wedding dress. So I had my earbuds in my phone when I was recording this, and apparently the microphone on that doesn't work, so I'm not sure what I was telling you here, except for the fact that I discovered that if you mark everything out in pins, it helps you cut out really straight lines or something. And then this is the general shape that I made. It's just pretty much the same thing as the Regency bodice, so if you watch that video, a few more detailed instructions on how to get that shape, but that's essentially just what I ended up with, and I ended up taking out a bit in the middle because it was too wide. That's why there's a seam there, but it's fine, it all got covered up in the end. Just roll with it, okay? Now, if you want to be a fancy dressmaker like me, kidding, try doing French seams. Now, I know there's a way to fake French seams, but I've never tried that before, so I just do the legit version. This is the kind of stuff you're going to find on couture garments. So essentially you sew along the line that you want, or a little bit over. You sew a little bit on the outside of the line that you want, on the right side of the fabric, which seems counterintuitive, but it's okay. Then you flip it inside out, and well, first you have to trim down the fabric, flip it inside out, and sew it again. So essentially you end up with this neat little casing with no raw edges, and it's fantastic. It does take a little bit longer, so for like long side seams and whatnot, it is going to take you a little bit of extra time, but it's really going to elevate your whole game, and it's very, very strong. So this is a good seam to put on areas where you're going to have lots of strain. For like center back seams or underarm seams, etc. So, yeah. So I'm filming this solely for the purpose of trying to talk myself through what I have just done and see if there's any way to fix it. Chocolate covered caramel, by the way. Excellent thinking snack. So, technically, I should have made the dress twice. I have the lining layer, and I have sequins on my hands. The lining layer and the lace overlay. And those should have been, there's the same number of pieces for each one, sew them each together, and then compile the whole lot. Unfortunately, this lace is very airy. There's like no substance to this. And so, the problem I'm facing is I can't really create a second layer to put over the lining layer because I can't really sew that together. Like, I hope you can see how lacy this is. Like, it's gonna fall apart when I cut into it. It's a very, very loose weave. I have caramel stuck in my teeth. Why did I think that was a good idea? Well, this is professional. Someday I'm going to look back at these videos and laugh. I don't know quite how to go through with this, especially because I realize that the lining layer is going to be, obviously it's an empire waist, but there's not a lot of walking space, and if this is going to be worn by a bride, there will be lots of walking and probably dancing as well. So I can either try to do a train, and add a front slit, you know, maybe about knee length or so, or I can be unconventional and I can do a back slit, and so it's just a very simplistic dress. And I think that's what I'm going to do, just because it is out of the ordinary and I kind of like that idea. Do something a little bit unorthodox. But I'm still facing the issue of how do I establish the fact that this, oh, I could do a ribbon. I could just make this fall perfectly straight. So like on the front, this is just what it would look like. But then, I mean, like this, you see the lining layer, but essentially just put a ribbon made out of the lining material because it's actually really pretty. Or I have this, no, that's a little too small. I have some wider stuff. Or lace, I have lace. Why not just do another lace? See, I knew this would help. You people are the best therapists, I swear. That's what I'm gonna do, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I just want to show you guys what I did here. I never have good angles, gosh. So, I went ahead and took both sides of the lace. So, you know, this is a directional lace, obviously, and so I just took the very edges of it and I attached that to the back seam, and then I took the middle of it, so the front, and I pinned it here. So what I want to do is I want to create some nice gathering, and what I'm planning to do with this is I'm gonna sew it all along the edges where it's supposed to meet, and so this is like inside out right now. I'm pinning wrong sides together. So then I'm gonna flip it inside out and it'll be hopefully what I want to happen, but I'm going to pin everything first before I sew it, that way I can make sure what is happening up here is actually going to work here. So completely disregard everything I just said and we'll just see what happens. But yeah, pin the thing to the thing. It worked. It actually worked, and it's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm just going to show you what it's going to look like with the ribbon. I'm probably not going to use this one because it's really thin, but with long sleeves made out of this. It's so pretty. I'm freaking out. There we go. Okay, so it has been a few days. I have started to get over myself for a mistake that I made, which was I wanted to trim up the hem because I had lots of extra fabric on the bottom and it was irritating me. So I decided to lay the dress out on the floor and chop the hem. Now guess what happens when you take a piece of clothing that is meant to fit over the planes and the curves of the body and you lay it flat and then expect the straight line that you cut to be fine once you pick it up again. Bad things happen and you end up with an ankle-length wedding dress. Now, is this kind of non-traditional and funky and kind of cute and sort of what I was going for? Yes and no. I did want it to have a little bit of the traditional flowiness to it. At the moment, the only thing that is tying this to traditional wedding dresses is the fact that it is white. So, what I'm going to do, at least what I'm going to try to do, is I'm going to try to sew a ruffle all along the bottom of the skirt, because I do have the slit in the back that I can't really close up by just adding on more. So that's what we're going to try to do. And also, this lace is a real pain in the butt because it is very, very loosely woven, so I'm not sure how well that's going to go. But I do want to show you, hold on, I have a pin stuck in the lace. I do want to show you what a lace sleeve is looking like. I have not closed it up, obviously, but I think that's really pretty. Yes, it is way too long, but that's because it's going to be bishop sleeve style, and so I want there to be some extra fluffage. So yeah, I'm going to attach the other sleeve now, and I was going to do French, I was going to try to like French seam a sleeve, which I don't even know if that's possible, but my brain is not working anymore, and so thusly I opted not to. Yeah, if you figure that out, feel free, but I have my stitch length set to 1 because I don't want the lace falling apart. Yeah.
It is like day number something of working on this dress. It has been a while. But, sorry, this stool makes a lot of noise. So, yeah. This is a measurement for the cuff. And so what I'm going to do is, this is a bodice piece. Oh, now I remember. I accidentally cut out 2 full back panels, and I don't know why I did that. Okay, anyway, so I'm just going to use this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create cuffs by measuring this on this, and I'm probably going to make them about yay wide, just because these are going to be like bishop sleeves, and so I want it to create enough space that it causes it to floof. I don't know. I don't know the proper words for this stuff, and it's Friday, and so my brain has just stopped working. My brain stops working on a Wednesday, usually. But yeah, so I would show y'all how I'm going to do this, but I am too lazy to go and get my camera stand out of the drawer that it's hiding in. And so we are just gonna do, there, that's how it turned out. So I just eyeballed the width, but I'm gonna fold these in half, press them, and then sew them. I think I'm gonna sew them and then flip them inside out so that the seam is on the inside. Wait, no, should I do that? Because I'm gonna have to sew it to the fabric anyway. Oh, okay, so you know what? I'm gonna do this a little bit like bias tape. So I'm just gonna fold over the edge. Just like, this is white, so you can't see. I'm just gonna fold over the edge just a teeny bit. And then press it, and then fold it in half. Now, and so now the raw edges are on the inside, and then I will sew it to the edge of the cuff, and then sew it shut. Yeah, it would have made so much more sense had I attached this to the sleeve before doing all that, but yeah, I've been working on this very sporadically, in case you couldn't tell, so hopefully this dress is a success and I can get a deal with this bridal salon and I can start making them dresses and just surviving off of the money that I get making those dresses, and then I can go work for other bridal salons as well, and I can get these dresses in a bunch of different bridal salons all across the state, and then eventually the country, and eventually the world, and then I can just work on it full time, and I don't have to work on it sporadically and make stupid mistakes like this. Anyway, I wonder if I can do a cool transition with this.
Okay, at any rate, I hope y'all can see what's happening here because it insists on focusing on me instead of the work, and the work is important right now. At any rate, I've already had to move the hook and eye a couple times because I wanted it to be hidden, and I also needed it to kind of hide a little bit of excess here. So I'm gonna have to move it one more time, I think, and also I don't know why, but my white thread is all discolored now, so that's strange. At any rate, I'm putting on the other hook and eye right now on the other side, and cat hair all over me. Okay, what I have here is a 1940s wedding dress that was given to me by a friend, and I have not opened it yet. I've seen pictures of it, but I haven't opened it. This is a little caplet. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. It's all bordered with little pearlsies. It's got little combs in the inside to keep it on the hair. It looks like there was a veil attached here at some point, but all that's left is just some little shreds, so someone must have removed it. For what purpose, I do not know. But, let's see here. Oh, it just keeps coming. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. So, the hem has been felled down. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's been felled down with hand stitches. Wow, beautiful. So it is not, for a second I thought it may have been like a homemade dress, but it does have a tag, so it is not. If you find a piece of clothing with this neat little attachment on it, get it, because this is a sign of good craftsmanship. These little things go like right here on very well made garments, and it keeps any straps from sliding out. So I do want to try this on and see if it fits, because supposedly it's a size 4, which should in theory fit me. Yes! Yes it does. Look at this. This is insane. There's so much terrain going on here. I can't even. Oh my gosh. Wow. Question is, what am I going to do with this? The answer is, I don't know. Because I could quite easily alter it into something more modern, but I kind of don't want to, just because I want to preserve the integrity of the fact that this is a 1940s dress. This is like an actual antique, and if it had belonged to someone who was very rich and famous, it would probably be in a museum. Our power just went out. Like literally the second before I started filming it went out. And I look like a hot Edwardian mess. I think that being because there's like a crazy windstorm. You know those points when you just get so frustrated you start laughing? Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start hand sewing this on. Because I was going to machine sew it and be done with it today, but I may, depending on how long this stays out, because that whole like on and off thing happened a lot today. There was a while ago where it was like, it went out and then it came back on, and then it went out and then like 30 seconds later it came back on again. So, anytime now. So, power is back on, as you can see, and my hair is a mess, and I am going to use the same method that I used for attaching the, for sewing the sleeve seam. I can't wait to be done with this project. For attaching the ruffle to the bottom, because as I had stated, this lace is very, very loose weave and I want it to hold together, especially for something that's touching the ground and could get caught on things, etc. Bad situation. So I'm gonna do that. I just sewed the ruffle onto the bottom, and I will trim that accordingly if necessary. I decided to put cups in it, but the heck? Why are these so hard? I've never seen anything like this. At any rate, I can't find good videos on how to sew this in, and if you think I'm going to create a video on how to sew it in, you're wrong. Because I'm literally just going to stick it in and tack it. I'm confused. Oh, there we go. Nope, still confused.
All in all, I'm very satisfied with how this came out. It was not something that I was initially super thrilled to make, but I'm really glad I stuck with it because it turned out beautiful. It's not something I would wear on my wedding day, but if you want to, you can go to @LondonStreetDesigns on Instagram and you can purchase it. So make sure to follow me there and @TheHistoryBounder on Instagram, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, otherwise the evil cat will eat all of your socks.